In this video, we will be discussing the Franklin. Franklin, according to your footnotes, is a wealthy landowner. And we won't find out until the end of Chaucer's description what else this guy really does. So for right now, he's a Franklin, which is a wealthy landowner. There was a Franklin with him. Now this is referencing the sergeant at the law. So these two guys, these two wealthy landowners essentially are traveling together, because remember, there are these certain groups that knew each other before they all arrived at the Tabard Inn, made the one big group, and all traveled together to Canterbury. And so the sergeant at the law and the Franklin knew each other beforehand and arrived at the Tabard Inn together. There was a Franklin with him, it appeared. White as a daisy petal was his beard. So we got like this nice, kind of like Santa Claus, white beard going on with this guy. A sanguine man, so cheerful, good-natured, that's what sanguine means. High-colored and benign. He loved a morning sop of cake and wine. Wow, right. What a lavish lifestyle. So this guy is getting up every morning. He's a wealthy landowner. He's getting a slice of cake and dipping it in some wine. What a way to start your morning. Very decadent. He lived for pleasure and had always done, for he was Epicurus's very son, in whose opinion sensual delight was the one true felicity in sight. As noted at St. Julian was for bounty, he made his household free to all the county. So he loves to open up his home and host parties for all of the people in the surrounding area. His bread, his ale were finest of the fine, and no one had a better stock of wine. His house was never short of bake meat pies, of fish and flesh, and these in such supplies it positively snowed with meat and drink, and all the dainties that a man could think. According to the seasons of the year, changes of dish were ordered to appear. He kept fat partridges in coops beyond, many a bream and pike were in his pond. Woe to the cook, unless the sauce was hot and sharp, or if he wasn't on the spot. And in his hall a table stood arrayed, and ready all day long with places laid. So again, we have this description of these parties that he throws, the best food, the best drinks, right? This is the place you want to go. Seems like everyone likes him. Not everyone, though, because we have those two lines in there about one of his servants. And so it seems like, yeah, he's a nice guy if you're on his level, but if you're one of his servants, he's pretty hard on you. So he's not like the best boss, I guess we could say. And so that's going to be the fault that Chaucer kind of has with this guy, is he doesn't treat everyone well. And then on top of that, he leads like this very decadent lifestyle. Like, do you need to be having cake with wine every morning for breakfast? Probably not, for a multitude of reasons. As justice at the sessions none stood higher, he often had been a member for the shire. A dagger and a little purse of silk hung at his girdle, white as morning milk. As sheriff, he checked audit every entry. He was a model among landed gentry. So this guy, he has a couple of things going on. It tells us in our footnotes that being a member for the shire meant that he was his county's representative in Parliament. So he's kind of like this governmental figure. And then on top of that, it tells us that he's the sheriff. Now, this is not like the sheriff from Texas, right, with his cowboy hat on and his big old sheriff's badge, or the sheriffs from the Wild West, etc. This is more sheriff from the old animated Disney Robin Hood movie, right? The Sheriff of Nottingham and stuff. It tells us in our footnotes that a sheriff was a royal tax collector. So the Franklin's job, he would go around and collect taxes for the crown. So this is a very wealthy guy living this very decadent lifestyle, perhaps too decadent of a lifestyle, and not always treating those below him in station well. So this character overall is going to be a neutral character for Chaucer, right? I mean, he's not making people walk the plank like the skipper is. He's not, doing anything horrible like the friar, but at the same time, he could be living a better life. So he's a neutral character.